So, you don't know sign language yet? That's okay. Not everyone can learn sign language the moment they meet a deaf or hard of hearing person who signs. I totally understand that. Learning any language requires time and practice. But you should totally take up sign language because it's awesome! Anyways, today I'm going to be talking to you guys about what you can do if you don't know sign language yet. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is because when I was growing up, no one in my family used sign language to communicate with me. And it's totally not their fault. They were never exposed to the language. They were never given any information or resources about the language. They never really knew how helpful this language could have been for me growing up. And I'll talk more about that later. But the point I'm trying to get to is that since we didn't have sign language, we had to find other ways to communicate. Now, my family is very energetic. They love to tell stories and they have big personalities. And a while ago, I realized that when I would talk to my family, a few things that I found super helpful that my family does is they use a lot of gestures and facial expressions when they talk. Now, why is gesturing and facial expressions so important? It's important because using gestures and using facial expressions can help you tell your story, can help you tell us what you're really trying to say. Gestures and facial expressions are non-verbal forms of communication. For example, so the first personality that I showed was obviously excited and happy about something, while the other personality I showed really disliked something. So without having speech, without having dialogue, how do we know that it's not the other way around? We know it's not the other way around because we have hints, we have clues that are shown through the gestures and facial expressions. When people don't use gestures or facial expressions when they talk, it makes it even more difficult for the deaf and the hard of hearing to understand what's going on. I'm sure you guys have experienced someone like this. Versus someone who talks like this. Big difference, right? The first personality, you have no idea what they're trying to express to you or what they're really trying to say to you. While the other personality shows so much gesture and facial expression, body language that gives us information that that person's sad. A lot of hearing people often get caught up with the idea that the only way to communicate with somebody efficiently is by using their voice. It's not. A while back, I used to work at a coffee shop where people who didn't speak English would come in and order stuff all the time. And how would I communicate with them? I would use gestures and facial expressions and point to different objects that I was trying to describe to them. And it works. There are a lot of other ways to communicate with others. It just takes a little bit of problem solving, patience, and teamwork. Gesturing and facial expressions are just two of the many non-verbal ways to communicate. Of the day, I recently learned that honeybees happen to communicate with each other by dancing. It's called the waggle dance. I really want to learn that dance. But anyways, if you don't know sign language yet, use gestures, point to things, use your facial expressions to communicate. And seriously, go learn sign language because it's so cool. Anyways, I hope you guys learned something today. If you did, pass it on and share it so somebody else can learn something today. Also, before I forget, I now have a Ko-fi page, which is kind of like a tip jar where you can help me support my content so I can continue to make videos for you guys. And as always, if you guys want to discuss more about any of these topics, feel free to reach out to me on my YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that. And I'll see y'all later. Waggle dance, waggle dance. Waggle, 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 waggle. Waggle, 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 waggle. Buzz, buzz, buzz. I am Abraham Lincoln.